Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to preview the science fiction film, Stranded. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We post multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. The first manned expedition to Mars is poised to go with a team of 6 astronauts. They don their gear and get on their lunar lander. But something goes wrong, the lander breaks, and it crashes into the surface of Mars. Only 5 of the 6 crew members survive the crash: Luca, Jenny, Fidel, Susanna, and Herbert. Due to a fractured neck, the captain perishes in the collision. After a few days, the scientist on board, Luca, declares that it will take more than 2 years for a ship to reach them if they are to be saved. If all 5 remain inside the ship, they will consume too much energy and suffocate to death in less than a year. Luca informs the survivors that 3 of them will have to commit suicide in order for the remaining 2 to use their resources and survive for the next 2 years before being rescued. Since Jenny is a doctor and Luca is a pilot, both of their abilities would be needed more than theirs, therefore Susanna determines, since she was second in command, that she, Fidel, and Herbert will be the ones to die. Before getting dressed, they all get one last night of sleep. Suiting up in their space suits, Susanna, Fidel, and Herbert depart on their suicide mission. In order to provide the people on Earth with film before they perish, they decide to use the limited power and oxygen in their space suits to record what they can of the Martian surface and relay it back to the crashed lander. Herbert is the first to run out of oxygen along the journey. After telling Susanna that he would have liked to get to know her better, he lies down and passes away gently. Fidel and Susanna continue on. They come upon a chasm and cross it. Runes and drawings have been carved into the walls, which is obviously not conceivable in the absence of sentient life. They go deeper and discover something startling: the temperature, oxygen level, and air pressure are all normal inside the caves. Fidel opens his mask to discover that the air inside the caves is breathable just as his oxygen tanks run out. They are unable to send data to the lander inside the caves. Luca and Jenny believe they have passed away, but they unexpectedly experience a crisis of their own. Air is leaking from the lander. They discover that around half of their oxygen has already spilled out since the sensors that would have detected the issue failed. They will pass away a year before being rescued, even with just 2 people. Since Luca is certain they will pass away quickly, he wants to have sex with Jenny. She declines him and makes a point of stopping the leak. In the midst of this, Fidel unintentionally walks into an open tube, causing his body to decompress. While Susanna drags him back to a pressurized tube, he suffocates despite the fact that his internal organs are essentially crushed inside of his body. In her space suit, Jenny steps outside the lander but is unable to locate the leak. Susanna's voice on the radio interrupts her just as she is about to give up. While still in pressured air, she has discovered a route out of the tunnels and made communication with the lander once more. After she informs them of the air, Luca makes the decision to accompany Jenny in her search for Susanna. They leave the lander and enter the tunnels, where they find that the air is surprisingly extremely breathable. The group also finds primitive plant life and a lake with drinkable water that hasn't frozen. They discover how to generate fire as well. They make the decision to use these plants and the water to help them survive for as long as they can. It is never revealed if they are saved or how successfully their scheme works. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.